Good morning, children. So today's topic is letter writing. I know this topic is not new to you all. You all have done this topic earlier. But again, since it's a part of our syllabus, we are going to do it. Now, letter writing, you all know what is letter writing. It's a very essential ingredient of life. To convey your idea, to convey your feelings, emotions. We tend to use letter as a medium of communication. Now, before the modern technology, it was prevalent. Letter was quite important at that time because it was a very important mode of communication. But nowadays we have enough number of enough modes of communication apart from letter, which are quicker, like email writings. Then we have message writing. So if you have to communicate something which is very urgent, you can just send, at a only with one button you can send it to 100 people at a time. Emails, also messages. But then the question arises, why letter? See, letter, first of all, it is very safe because emails and all these things can be hacked, but letter is something that cannot be hacked. It reaches to the receiver only. Secondly, there are certain topics or there are certain subject line wherein you can't resort to just email or just message. You have to write letter in those cases. So although letter is not, or we have many options apart from letter, but letter has not lost its importance or significance altogether. So today we are going to do a lot about letter writing, what are the different kinds of letter writing, the format of letter writing, so on and so forth. Now, before we start with different kinds of letter writing, there are general instructions that you should know about when you're writing letter. A letter should always be written in a simple and direct manner. There should be no beating around the bush. Now, when I say simple and direct manner, I don't mean only a very simple language. Language can be flowery. Language can be, using a lot of good idioms and phrases, good vocabulary. It can be enriched. But again, the topic or whatever you are trying to express, it has to be direct. It should not be that you're just beating around the bush and making it very lengthy. Next is, the letter should be brief, but it should convey the purpose and the ideas of the writer fully. So when you're writing the letter, your letter should be brief. It should be short, simple, precise, conveying all the meaning, all the ideas that you have. Now, when I say brief, doesn't mean you're just going to write for the sake of writing. It should convey all the purpose. It should convey the ideas that you have in your mind, or from a writer's perspective, you're going to write all the ideas and the purpose behind writing the letter fully. One should never forget the person to whom the letter is addressed, and the tone and content of the letter should be in keeping with this consideration. So you should never forget the person to whom you're writing the letter to. If suppose you're writing it to your class teacher or principal, there's a certain tone or there's a certain type of a language that you actually resort to. You cannot write the way you want, but when you're writing to your friend, it is a different language altogether. So you have to keep the person in mind to whom you're writing the letter and the subject line, of course, and keeping that in mind, you're supposed to choose the words and vocabulary, the tone and the content, and you should keep that in mind and then choose your words wisely. Now, impolite and harsh language should be avoided. When I say impolite and harsh language, I also mean foul languages, because certain people, they tend to use foul language in letter writing. Even if you are writing it to your friend or someone of a very, having a very, very close relationship with you, you're not supposed to write inappropriate language, because although it's a letter, you are writing it in school and the teacher is going to correct it, so it's not very personal to you. So, and in general also, when you're writing a letter, the letter should not be impolite and it should not be harsh. It should be polite. Now, different ideas or views should be expressed in separate paragraphs. So when you're writing a letter, if there's a change in the idea or change in the view that when you're writing, then you're supposed to change the paragraph. Now, these are the general instructions that you are supposed to keep in mind when you're writing the letter, be it formal letter, be it informal letter, be it business letter, be it, to anyone. So you are supposed to keep all the general instructions, all these instructions in mind. Now, types of letter. We very well know that there are two types of letters. One is informal letter and one is formal letter. Now, when you are writing a letter, you write it for invitation for your birthday party. You can write it for inviting to your, inviting friends or anyone for your wedding. You can write as a, posting your resume for any job opportunity. You can write, leave application letters. So there are many kinds of letters. Now, how will you understand whether it is an informal letter or formal letter? See, basically what people do is when you're writing it to someone with whom you share a close relationship with, like your neighbors maybe, or your friend maybe, or maybe your mother, maybe your brother. So these people are someone with whom you share a personal kind of a relationship. So when you write to these people, you write informal letter. And formal letters are usually which is related to work, which is related to the people with whom you don't share much of a bonding or much of a personal contact. Now, it's not that only. Sometimes when you are writing, suppose a complaint, you're writing a complaint to your friend regarding who is also a, maybe the secretary of your complex. So when you're writing a complaint regarding the building or regarding the environment that is there in your complex to him, at that time it is not informal letter. He or she might be your friend, but it becomes formal letter because the subject line is the complaint regarding the ambience or the environment of your society. So it entirely depends on the subject line. Sometimes children, they share a very special bond with their teachers. So if you are inviting a teacher to your birthday party, it is not a formal letter. Even though you're writing it to your class teacher or maybe your subject teacher, the letter is regarding the invitation to the birthday. So in that case, it is not a formal letter, it becomes informal letter. So yeah, it depends on the person, but more it depends on the subject line of the letter. Now we'll start with informal letter. Now informal letter is also referred to as a friendly letter. It's a personal letter written to friends or relatives. Just now we discussed that. It is written in personal fashion. So as I said, personal fashion is, what I mean by personal fashion is you can use casual language, but again it has to be decent and it has to be very polite. You can write it to anyone with whom you have a non-professional relationship. Although this does not exclude business partners or workers whom you're friendly with either. So you are friendly with these people. So you can write informal letters. As I told you, you're friendly with her teacher. You can write informal letter to her as well. Now it entirely depends on the subject line of the letter. So if your subject line is something very informal, then it becomes your informal letter. Doesn't matter to whom you are writing the letter to. Now formal letters, we have already discussed about formal letters and informal letters and how to differentiate whether it's a formal letter or informal letter. See, it entirely depends on the purpose of writing the letter. It also depends on the relationship between the writer and the recipient, but the main thing that helps you to identify whether it's a formal or informal letter is the subject line or the purpose of writing the letter. So you can write to formal acquaintances also some informal letters, or you can write to your friends also formal letters. So it depends on the purpose of writing the letter. So now formal letter, as it says, is the formal letter is one written in a formal and ceremonious language and follows a certain stipulated format. So the format of informal letter and formal letter is different, that we are going to discuss later in others or a different slide. Such letters are written for official purposes to authorities, dignitaries, colleagues, and then seniors, etc., and not to personal contacts, friends or family. But you can write to your friends and family also if the purpose is different or the purpose is formal. A number of conventions must be adhered to while drafting formal letters. a formal letter can be written to a person acquaintance as well. It only depends on the subject line of the letter. So as I told you all earlier, it depends on the purpose of writing the letter that helps you to decide whether it's a formal letter or an informal letter. Now, common characteristics. When I say common characteristics, I'm talking about certain characteristics of a letter which is common for both formal and informal letter. Now, let us see what are those. Address is there in both formal and informal letter. Date is there in both formal and informal letter. Then you have salutation, introduction, body, conclusion, subscriptions. All these are there for both formal and informal letter. Now it is format of informal letter. Now to begin with, the most important thing that you have to keep in mind while writing informal letter or formal letter for that matter, that everything or all the characteristics, they come at the left hand side of the letter. There's nothing that comes to the right hand side of the letter. Now to begin with, it is the sender's address. Now first and foremost, on the left hand corner of the letter of informal letter, you write the address of the sender, the one who's writing the letter. Now why sender's address? Of course, see, receiver's address you write on the envelope, right, not inside the letters. Now sender's address will help the recipient to write back to the person who has sent the letter. Now sender's address, when you're writing sender's address, as I told you, it should begin at the left hand corner of your letter on top, and it should be from in to out. Like you start from your flat, then you go out and it's your building, and then it's your street, then it's your, so that way you're supposed to expand it from in to out. So first it should be flat number, then building name, then street name, then city, and pin code. Now when you write pin code, it has to be in expanded form. You cannot write just 57 or 48. It has to be written in expanded form, whatever the pin code is. And also remember, when you're writing the address address should be written in 3 lines. Then comes your date. Now whenever on the date that you're writing the letter, that date has to be mentioned. Also keep in mind the date has to be written in expanded form. The example has been very well given here, 19th July, 2020. So there's a comma to be put after the month, and it has to be written in the same format. You cannot write 19.7.2020. You cannot, or just 20. You cannot write like that. It has to be written in an expanded form. Next is your salutation. Now salutation is the greeting. It should be written based on the relationship which you share with the recipient. Now like if you're writing it to your mother, you can write dear mom, or if you're writing it to your friend or a brother, dear Rahul, you can name the person, or you can write that way. Okay, now when you're writing dear, D has to be capital, and when you're writing mom or whoever the person is, it has to be again capital. Now next, no comma after salutation. Okay, then is your introduction. Now when you write introduction, it should in 2 lines only you're supposed to write whatever the topic of your letter is. It's an informal letter, so you don't have a subject line separately, unlike the formal letter. So here in introduction only you're supposed to in short write whatever your topic of the letter is. Now you are not, I have seen many children writing hi, how are you. It's a very wrong way of writing. Please don't write like that. Don't start a letter with a question. Hi, how are you is a very wrong way. You can write I received your letter last, or this is in regards to the last letter that I received from you, or this is a letter inviting you for my birthday, or I hope everything is fine. This letter is regarding the birthday that is or the party that I'm supposed to, or I'm going to throw on my birthday, or something like that. Okay, so please don't write with starting with hi, how are you, or I hope. Then is your body. Now when you write the body of the letter, you change the paragraph, of course, and you write about the the main idea that is there. Okay, so if suppose it's a birthday party, you're supposed to write it like you're supposed to write about all the WH question. You're supposed to answer all the WH question that is related to your letter subject line. Suppose it's a birthday party, so you're going to write where the birthday is, when the birthday is, how are you planning to celebrate it, and what time will it start, what are the different rules, or if there is any theme. So all these questions you're supposed to clarify, and you don't wait for the receiver to write it back to you asking all these questions. So your body should consist of all these things. Now again, your body should not be very lengthy and it should not be very short also, and it should be grammatically correct. Of course, it should be very when you're writing anything, it has to be grammatically correct. It should express the ideas very clearly, and the language, as I told you earlier, it should be polite. Okay, now usage of high sounding words and phrases, of course, will be appreciated when you write a letter. It gives you edge over other letters. Now then you have conclusion. Now in conclusion, it again has to be very short, like introduction. When you wrap up the letter, including the regards and the well wishes that you tend to give to the writers at the receiver at the end. So you can wrap it up like, I hope I'll be or looking forward to your reply, or I hope you will be or you will grace my birthday with your presence. Give my regards to uncle and aunt. Whatever. Okay, goodbye. So this way you can just end your or conclude your letter in 2 lines, not more than that. Then is subscription. Now when you write subscription, it is the name of the sender at the end. So before that you have to write subscription. Now subscription is yours lovingly, yours affectionately. There are many others, but then I would request you to kindly adhere to only yours lovingly or yours affectionately. And if you find the spelling of affectionately quite difficult, kindly don't make the mistake of writing it and getting not getting marks or getting your marks deducted. It's better to always resort to lovingly in that case if you don't remember the spelling of affectionately. Now when you write suppose yours lovingly, your Y should be capital and yours will have an S at the end without any apostrophe comma, because this is the most common mistake that I have been seeing from a very long time. So please don't refrain from committing these mistakes. And when you write lovingly, L will be small here, or affectionately A will be small. Then below that, just below that, without leaving line, you are supposed to write your name or whatever the writer's name is given. If it is given in the question, suppose it is given you are Padma writing letter to your friend Manju about inviting her to your birthday party. So here already the name of the writer and receiver is given. So in this case, your salutation should be dear Manju, and your this subscription should be yours lovingly Padma, or yours affectionately Padma. Okay, now since it's a proper noun, it has to start with a capital letter. Now this is one thing. And now as I told you all earlier, that all the characteristics except for introduction, body and conclusion, everything will come from in the left hand side of the letter. And introduction, body, conclusion, of course, it starts from, we start from left to right. Like that is how the English dialect is, right? We don't, like, unlike Urdu wherein it starts from right to left, it is from left to right. So that also comes in the left hand corner of the letter. So please adhere to that and write all the characteristics at the left hand side of your letter. So this is all about informal letter. See, letter writing is quite a lengthy topic, so we'll be dividing it into 2 parts. First part is for informal letter, that we have discussed about the format of informal letter, why do we write, or to whom we write informal letter to, what is the letter, all these things we have already discussed. In part 2, we are going to discuss about the formal letter, like how is it different from informal letter, what are the differences, what is the format, and how is it different in format from informal letter, so on and so forth. Also, after that, after the part 2 is discussed and sent to you, we are going to send you a worksheet kind of a thing, wherein one specimen of informal and 1 specimen of formal letter will be given to you. So whatever notebook you're writing your English in, if it is last year's notebook or if it is your rough notebook, whatever notebook you're writing your English in, kindly copy that specimen in your notebook, and 1 question, independent question of formal and informal letter will be given to you that you're supposed to solve on your own independently. Please don't take help of anyone. Kindly do it on your own because it's not a new topic for you all. You all have done it earlier. All right. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy.